Now we're going live. We're live. Sorry, folks, a little late. We were dinking around, so looking for stuff. Shopping. We were out shopping. We're here now. Come on in. If you're, somebody's out there. The chat is open. We are live. No pre-recorded stuff this week or for the foreseeable future. We're here. It's 5 a.m. where I am. What is it where you are? Actually, it's 5:08.
After 8 after 10.
8 after 10. Chat's open. We're here for Comics by Night. Sun isn't even up where I'm at, so.
Oh no!
That's Comics.
The sun isn't up, and neither is my fence.
Yeah. Blown over.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
All right, folks.
On the insurance, then?
No, I'll just put a panel back in it. It was not worth all that.
I'll go outside with Emma. That'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll just tell it off.
Here's our opening. Then we'll get underway. Good stuff today. Here we are.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
There we are. Hello, folks. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at arrowcomics.store, where you can find such great stuff as Hero Bot Zero and Paragon, and stories that I've written and some that I've drawn. And also over there, if not now, then very soon, the few remaining copies of the Shadow Kingdom will be available over there. I haven't checked the last couple days. Hopefully Luke's gotten that up and in there. I know he's got copies of it. And there's only about 10 or so of them available. So you better nab them. If you want one, get it now. So deeply appreciate you being here. Also joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books and comics. I draw comics, and I publish lots of magazines. If you go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all these good book places, you'll find my stuff. If you put my name in Google, you'll find something about me, but I don't know what.
There's something there. Yeah.
Something will come up, as the actress said to the bishop.
But don't look on Wikipedia because it's all lies.
All of it's lies.
I'm not on that. I was, but somebody took me down, so I don't know.
Like I'm up there from a listing from like 30 years ago. So.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't on the internet 30 years ago.
I don't think anybody was there?
Nobody remembers the good old days of CompuServe.
Yeah, free speech and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, when you can actually speak your mind before everybody was trolling everybody. Back then it was just flame wars. Yeah. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
My name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. Yes, that backward third world country. But
Careful.
don't worry. We're still fighting the good fight and trying to do the best we can. You can see my work on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all over the place. You can go to my website, russleach.com. You can see samples of my work there. Currently, I'm on The Atlantean with Randy Zimmerman, which is a continuation of the characters by Robert E. Howard from the book The Shadow Kingdom, which you soon will be able to get on, or I think you can get on Barnes & Noble now.
Yeah.
So that's a special version. Or not a special version. That's the retail version. The special version, there are still a couple of copies left over at the Arrow store. I have a couple of copies as well. If you're in UK or the Europe and you want a copy of the original crowdfunded version, get in touch with me. I might be able to get sort something out for you. But other than that, just go over to russleach.com, sign up for the email list so you can keep abreast of the production on. I'm just inking now, actually. Here's a piece that hasn't had the grey tones put on. There you go.
Wow.
Look at that, folks.
That's the
Oh,
bar
yeah.
scene. Yeah. The girls dancing on the table and stuff. There you go. A bit of that. And the opening shot. This has some grey tones on it. So there you go.
There you are.
Okay, so that's the kind of stuff we're looking at. It's black and white. It's Savage Sword of Conan-esque, the magazine, and we're loving it. Hopefully you will, but to find out more about it, keep in touch with us. Go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list. Okay.
I looked under Amazon under my name. The War of the Worlds Infestation book from Caliber is up there. And then the second listing is a X-rated comic. So somebody said I did, but anyway.
At least they didn't steal your website domain number name.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Well, they did take my Twitter at one point.
There you go.
My Twitter account, I had to take it back. I set it up and
no loss there though.
Well, I hadn't used it for years, and I kept getting these emails that were in foreign languages I couldn't understand. I said, well, sooner or later, I'm going to end up on some watch list by the FBI if I leave it up there. So I took my.
They were probably saying we're parked outside on your drive when you open.
Yeah. See, that's the crazy thing. Back in the day, there used to be watch lists. Now they watch everybody.
Yep. Big brother, always watching. All right, there we are. We're going to look at some Deadman today. Superhero whose main character dies on page 9. Here we are.
Why did you move it?
What?
It was fine the way it was. Why did you move it?
It's there now. Is it? It looks good, right? I can see it.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks good. Don't move it now.
No.
Come watch us on Friday morning where 3 old crotchets have us scream at each other.
Old farts talking comics here, folks. Yeah. Good morning, champs. Morning, Dave. Genuine Comics in the house. Glad you're here. Glad you're all here this morning. Got a nice number already this morning. Thank you for everybody watching. Everybody's watching us on Comic Book Black Belt channel this morning. Glad you're here. Deadman, Arnold Drake, Carmine Infantino, and Neal Adams. This is a prestige format reprint version. The story originally was in Strange Adventures. In fact, there's the cover for the first one in black and white there. Right there. It's a cover gallery of one cover. Yeah.
Ooh, he has strange short legs. That's very odd.
with 2 odd stripes of Zipatone there next to it just to fill space.
Oh, it's Carmine Infantino. Right.
Stubby feet as well. He'd fall over, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it is a little off, isn't it? Like that. Yep, just a little.
Stubby legs. A bit weird.
He's a circus acrobat, that's why. He's landed on his feet too often.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yep. It's compacted his thighs.
Mm-hmm. The reason we're looking at this, folks, is that after the first issue or so, Neal Adams comes on, and he pretty much had a free hand at doing the book however he wanted. So some of the sequential arts and some of the layouts and compositions in this book get incredibly interesting. Really fun.
Before you turn over, how ridiculous is that statement? It says, blah, 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 until I find my murderer, and I will find him, if it takes until eternity, which implies that the murderer is going to live forever as well.
There you are.
Right, so that's the end of that. Get something else on. That's rubbish. Get something else.
And eternity really is infinite, and that means you'll never find him.
That's right. And if you look at that guy on the left looking into the grave with the machine gun, it looks like Jack Kirby, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a bit.
Look at it on the opposite page.
No,
the cover.
on the black and
Oh,
white. In the black and
That
white.
guy
it
there,
does look-
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Kirby.
He may have a hump though.
In fact, while we're there, look at that hand near the spade. That's a real Kirby hand, isn't it?
Near the spade.
Near the spade.
Here.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, he is a bit. Yeah.
I wonder if that's. I don't know.
The
That
king.
cover's by the great Mike Sikowski.
Well, he apes Kirby, doesn't he? So there you go.
He did,
Mike Sikowski.
He did Justice
Good
League for quite
Good
a
answer.
while when it first started.
He was a monster, wasn't he?
What? And just before you go again, I'm sorry, but I've never seen this before. See the gravestone. Right?
Yeah.
Why is the grave in a hill? It's like it's on a hill, and they're
Sometimes
stood
you,
behind
just,
the hill.
sometimes you just have to let art flow over you.
Glenn's on it this morning.
Well, yeah, I do let art flow over me, but this is confusing.
why are they burying him in bits? Because there's no way that coffin's long enough.
Well, he's got stubby legs.
The perspective
coffin.
is quite off there.
He's got stubby legs.
And D on his stomach there sounds a bit. Duh. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
No, you're fine.
I'm just in a grumpy. I'm just in a grumpy mood because my fence has been blown down in the night. Not that I'm usually in a grumpy mood.
Much-
No, you're never in a
Much
grumpy
better
mood,
grave
Glenn.
here. Yeah.
You just tell it how it is, mate. You carry on being Glenn.
Yeah. Just because-
What I do
just be-
like.
Just because
Sorry,
I'm
go on.
grumpy doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No,
There you
there
go.
is that.
Go on.
I like
Well,
his little face in the D. I think that's good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Up here.
Yeah.
Just so you know who Deadman is.
Yeah.
It's the guy in front with a weird red costume and a big D on his tummy.
Moving on.
We've just taken that apart.
Let's see what we've got.
Even though he's a great comic artist, we've just been a bit horrible to him.
He draws
This is
nice
still
women.
a little loose for Infantino. So yeah.
Yeah,
He draws nice women though, doesn't he?
yeah. Maybe it's the inking over the top.
Yeah. Is it George Roussos or somebody?
It is. I believe you're right.
Yeah.
George
Wasn't he
Russo.
big in the 70s?
He was
I think
big.
I think
He
he
was
was
just big.
yeah,
from
really
the top.
he was really big from the start. Yeah.
Oh, that was Demis. Demis, sorry.
Yeah, was his brother.
Yeah, the D is raised a little higher than the tummy here,
Hmm.
just below the rib cage.
Yeah. So he wears a mask, does he?
Wait,
Yeah.
he does when he's alive, yeah.
When he's alive.
But then when he
Oh, of
becomes
course, yeah,
dead man,
yeah.
when he
Got ya.
dies, when he actually becomes the dead man, the like
Right.
the spiritual character, it sort of makes him in the image of what in the way that he died. So even though he had makeup on or whatever, that's what he looks like once he's dead.
When did this come out originally? Not this comic, but the original comic.
70s?
Circus trapeze artist named Deadman. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is this was done in, let's see when the original copyright was. Looking. 85 was the reprint.
I think it was 70 something
It's gotta be 70 something.
because this is full on sort of Neil Adams sort of ushered in or was part of ushering in the Bronze Age, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was the transition in a lot of ways.
He was at Marvel first. Didn't he do X-Men and then about 6 issues of X-Men and then disappeared and came up at DC? Is that right, Randy?
I thought he started at DC and he got the side gig at Marvel.
Mm.
Well, I'll go with that. I don't know.
I
mean-
I could be wrong on that.
He's known for Deadman and Batman, really.
Yeah.
That's his. I think they're his biggest. Oh, and obviously the Muhammad Ali issue as well.
Yeah, that's
those are the things he's known. But he did so much. He kind of I think he's the best known superstar journeyman.
Yeah.
Because you often associate Kirby with the Fantastic Four, you associate Buscema with Silver Surfer and with Conan, and there's other artists out there that you associate specifically, like Ross Andrew with Spider-Man or Romita or whatever, even though they did lots of other stuff. But like even the Batman run for wasn't that long, was it, for Neal Adams?
It was spotty. I think he was doing an issue whenever he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of did so much and was so sort of omnipresent in comics for a long period of time, and yet it's really only, you kind of associate him with the Deadman and Batman, although there are people with much longer runs on Batman, on anything.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, but his style, he was, I think they put him on covers right away because of his advertising background.
Instantly recognizable as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just brilliant stuff.
Very individual look to his work.
But he did some Conan as well, didn't he? And was he part of the Rusty Bunkers?
Oh, yeah.
Crowd. Yeah. So you can see when Adams is doing Conan, just wow.
I think he was
that great Red Sonja story.
He was head of that whole studio.
The
Bunkers, but that was mainly for them to get advertising gigs. They were doing all sorts of instructional comics, little comic ads back then. So
I don't like the way these word balloons are almost touching the letters, not leaving enough space in them.
Yeah,
a bit close.
I don't like the shapes.
Oh, wow.
Kind of cloudy. I
quite agree.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
So Strange Adventures. Strange Adventures 205 was October of 1967.
Wow. Is that far back? Crikey.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why I've not seen it, because I was reading good stuff at Fantastic Four at that time.
Deadman's first appearance in Strange Adventures 205, written by Drake, drawn by Infantino, included the first known depiction of narcotics in a story approved by the Comic Code Authority. The series is most associated with the art and writing of Neal Adams and the writing of Jack Miller, who took over from Infantino and Drake after the first story. The first story and all of the Adams stories were reprinted in 85 in a 7-issue series. That's what we've got here. Although he appeared from time to time in the 70s and 80s as a supporting character in various comics, including Jack Kirby's Forever People, Deadman did not get his own series again until 86 in a 4-issue limited series written by Andrew Helfer and drawn by Jose Garcia Lopez.
Wow.
Which picked up the story from where Adams left off. Deadman's next major storyline was in Action Comics Weekly from 86 to 89. After this, he starred in a 2-issue series, Deadman Love and Death, drawn by Kelly Jones and written by Mike Barron.
Wow, I bet that was a good book. Yeah. Kelly Jones on Deadman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was. This followed by the limited series Deadman Exorcism in 92, which was written by Barron and drawn by Kelly Jones. This is a not zombie-like rendition of the character would later appear in the pages of Batman. There was a Deadman ongoing series in 2002, which lasted 9 issues, as well as a couple of standalone issues. His cameo appearances also continued, including several issues of Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman's The Books of Magic. He had a cameo in books 2 and 3 of Batman Gotham County Line, which was released in 2005 and 2009. Deadman was featured a featured title in the Wednesday comics that we have already looked at here on Sunday Funnies. The character and self-titled series have won several awards, including the 67 Alley Award for Best New Strip by Arnold Drake and Infantino in Strange Adventures. So the story we're looking at now won an award.
Yeah.
And the 68 Alley Award Hall of Fame for Neal Adams. DC Comics published a slipcase hardcover edition, collecting the original Deadman stories in December of 2001. Deadman's retconned origin is revealed in Brightest Day number 14, written by Geoff Johns and Peter Tomasi.
Oh, God.
So
retconning.
They've already gone through and screwed the character. It has a 3-part limited miniseries called Deadman Dark Mansions of Forbidden Love, written by Sarah Vaughan and Lan Medina. Yeah, we don't even need
Forbidden Love.
Anyway.
I don't understand why this incessant need to retcon characters. It's like, make new ones. Leave them as they are. Kill them off, whatever. If you don't think they're relevant anymore, fine. Make new ones.
You kill a dead man.
Retcon, like characters' beginnings.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I've got a lot of time for, what they did with the Silver Age and how they had them on a different Earth, and so they explained it that way. I've got some time for that kind of thing, because at least it requires some imagination outside of just let's redo this character. It gives something wider and something to get your teeth into.
Mm-hmm.
But just let's just retcon. Right, he didn't get his powers like that. He got it like this. Really? Yeah. And I like Geoff Johns' work. I suppose probably it was just he was told to do it by editors, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, they all pitched ideas, so it was all. I think it was all him. But yeah, those Earth 2 stories are amazing. We should go through the old All-Star comics. A lot of that stuff is just incredible.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to see Batman and Superman growing old.
Yeah. Yeah, to a degree, that's kind of what you want to see. You want to, because the whole point is the characters are relevant to us as people, and sometimes you want to see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can say, okay, well, let's put them in a different environment. Let's make it so that there are other versions of them somewhere, and give them a different. But just retconning an actual character, I don't like that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a big push to erode the ideal of heroism anyway in comics. Seems to be a major goal of some of these writers.
If you want to see heroism, Cull is a hero.
There we are. Exactly.
Cull is a hero, and we're producing some cracking stuff. So that's what you want to do. Sign up. Email list at russleach.com. Sorry, was that too on the nose?
Nope, that's fine. It's better than this comic.
As Brian K. Morris would say, hashtag always be promoting.
In fact, take this comic off and put Shadow Kingdom on. Let's go through that.
No, because we're getting to Neal Adams. Don't put me next to Neal Adams pages, all right?
But
I'm very proud of what I've done, but I do not want to be compared to these people.
It's not Neal Adams, it's Carmine.
All right, okay.
Interesting angle for Carmine.
I was about to say, there's some nice stuff in this Carmine work. I'm wondering if it's the inker.
I wonder if Neal Adams has done some layouts on this from that angle.
No,
but yeah. I think it's the inker, because I've seen Carmine stuff and it's really good. And this is
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's difficult to complain about Carmine, isn't it? Because he is great, but some of these panels are a bit dodgy.
Didn't George Roussos do some early Kirby on the FF and things like that?
Yeah,
Captain America.
He did.
Enough said. Someone.
Enough said.
Where's Vinny when you need him?
Yeah.
Bring back Vinny now.
He's on the phone. I told you.
Hey, folks in the house right now, joining us, we have Jens, Richard.
Hey.
No.
Jens.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
How are you? Thanks.
Yes,
I'm beautiful. How are you?
Good, yeah. Good.
We're all good. Yeah. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm feeling a little down in the moment. I think life is a little tough. So I needed a good laugh, and I need some good friends, and I need some good company, and I think I found it.
And they
There
weren't
you are.
in, so you came here.
Sorry, you say?
They weren't available, so you came here.
Bit of British humour.
So anyway, what are we doing?
We are looking at Deadman.
We're abusing people at the
We're,
moment.
we're abusing
Okay.
Deadman right now.
I think that was a very nice entrance for a guy with a little tough life. Need a little laugh looking at Deadman.
Yeah.
He's not dead yet. So here we go.
Oh,
He's
well.
He's a trapeze artist right now. So
It's Mr. Dead.
We're just
He's
wishing
dead,
you
of
well.
course.
We can't wait
He's
for it
not
to
dead
happen.
yet. Did you just spoil the ending?
yeah, pretty much.
No,
Oh
it's,
my!
no, death
the
is just
cover-
the beginning.
The cover spoiled the ending. Here we are. Yeah, just the beginning. This is origin
Death
story.
is just the beginning. That's
Exactly.
a bit deep,
Okay.
isn't it?
Well,
This
it's
is
not.
Carmine Infantino, George Russo's inking. This is from 1967.
It's what? It doesn't
Yeah.
look like that. I think the
Well-
coloring. It's very. Maybe it's just the screen pushing out the color like that. I see the paper looks old, yeah, but the coloring is so clear.
That's the way they used to color back then.
Yeah, that's the way comics should be coloured.
Exactly right.
This is my opinion. Don't worry.
Okay.
Look at that. The lettering is really bizarre on this, though. Look at that. It's
Yeah.
very different. Whoever lettered this hasn't lettered a whole lot of comics. There's no credit for the letterer either, or the
It
color.
certainly didn't let her a whole lot more, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
That is an art that will never be credited, sadly.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah,
That's true.
I actually need to do that for my artist when he's doing the lettering. I need to somehow credit that more than I do. I that was a wake up call. Thank you.
It's all part of the art, you know.
Yeah.
We were talking about how odd the word balloons are. And here's a very long tail on this.
Well, I think particularly for that follow the settings that he is so far up and he's so low down that I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It kind of extend the feeling that this is a very tall. He's way up there.
Mhm.
I think.
Also, the script was written after the art was done.
Yeah.
Or Carmine ignored it because that was the first thing in the script and it needed to be above the second thing in the script. So they put a long tail on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just bringing everybody down.
Well, they could have brought this down and that would have been a little rough to do for that then too.
Yeah.
It's probably quite a conundrum for the letterer at the time.
For the letterer, yeah, because if
What
the
am I gonna
artist has
do?
drawn it, it's what it needed to be was the other way around. Maybe they should have just flipped it and it would have worked better.
But you don't see a whole lot of splash interior pages by Carmine.
No.
Very much. And here you go. He's really pretty loose with the composition.
So
on
I
this
like that
already.
angle of that vertical panel. It's a great angle. But it seems to me like the inker may have distracted from the pencils there.
Yeah, the coloring too. It's a little off, I think, on this. At least on the Deadman figure.
Then
They
you
didn't-
choose to have a speech bubble at the end of the long panel.
Yeah.
How will that work with the reading phase? Yeah, that depends what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you read this page in any order, or do you need to read the long panel and go back up and read?
Yeah, long panel first. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but people
problem
tend
is
to just look at the art on the long panel and then skip to the clown.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a little bit of
that sound effect really blends in. Probably should have been solid black or something.
I think there's a little bit of storytelling problem here because in order for you to absolutely connect that he's fallen to the ground between panel 1 and panel 2, you need to read the text.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He's falling, then you know. But if you should be able to follow the panels without reading the text. There should have been a drop panel. There should have been a panel where to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, because that clown is it takes off the action.
Yeah.
There's no reaction in the clown. There's no action. The reaction came in panel 3. Yeah, you're right. It takes a little off. But I think the clown is beautiful made anyway.
Somebody get a cop. I'm the law. Get a doctor. Forget the doctor, Mr. Law. He's had it. Oh, Sabat can't be. He's not dead. He's not. Easy, Miss Lorna. Why, Tiny? Sob. Why a wonderful guy like him? I don't know, miss. Nobody knows, I guess. Ramakrishna knows. And perhaps this is the beginning of that special fate which has long awaited Boston Brand.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this. I really like when you have a 2-page setup in the same hue, the same coloring, the same storytelling, and you really you get this effect that you have 2 pages with very much red calling danger, and then you flip it and the pace is different and the coloring is different on all the panels. It gives this, you flip the pages, you're in another mood. That's clever.
Well, turning the page also gives you the passage of time. So,
oh yeah,
here we are 3 days later.
Ooh. So, is that a circus, or is that, like a show of spectacular individuals?
That would be a circus, yeah. Well, when we turned the page, I thought this was the hill again.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, oh, that's a little off, isn't it? But I guess it's the coffin or the gravestone with the roses on it.
I think some of this was drawn at pace.
And then you have the little detailing page. Then second page, it's a page. It's a fourth wall breaking thingy.
Here. No
panel. No. The first panel in second page is drawn as a page.
Yeah, it's flipped over.
The corner is flipped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know.
Because his memory, he's thinking back to when he died.
That's a nice detail.
Just as on fire, I've been shot. Holy cow, I'm not dead. I don't even hurt. I can't die. Like, I can't fall that far without a scratch. Yeah.
Look at that woman. That panel where you on the left on page, the middle panel where they're crying at the roses. Look at that big woman there. Look at those arms. They're a bit wonky, aren't they?
Oh, she's the fat lady at the circus.
Very strange.
Yeah, well, comparing to the little gray man on her right,
yeah,
his head is smaller than her arm.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a serious arm.
Come on, scoot over. When are we getting to Neal Adams?
It's coming. It's coming.
Wow, that's
Still in
some
the
serious rain.
origin story here. Yeah. My hand, I went right through it. Told you, my sons are not alive. There's no more substance to your body than there is to the west wind or the April mist. Is that mist? Looks like a hard rain. Crazy if I can't hold a mouse in my hand. How can I grab a killer?
How can you stand on the ground?
Yeah. Don't leave me like this. Help me. Well, he figures out he can possess people and run in their bodies when he has to. Thus the
Here
orange.
comes Darkseid.
Thus the
Hello,
green glow.
Darkseid. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, Darkseid is comics. See, another
No.
Deadman stream? Nice. We're just getting started. Hey, Dave.
Please,
Looking at
it's
Deadman
the
comics.
Deadman stream.
The Deadman stream. More possession.
You see, here's the thing again. You flip the page, and the double page is telling you another mood. I really like that. You really turn the page. You have the build up, and then you have the serious.
Mhm.
This everything is so serious now.
His trousers look a bit tight in that third panel, don't they?
And he's standing right on the panel border, too.
Yes, Darkseid it is. Carmine Infantino, yeah.
Yeah. Carmine and George Russo's inking.
Yeah. Some questionable inking in places.
This is from Strange Tales 205 and cover dated October of 67. So Carmine will have been will have done most of the flash work at this point that he was going to do.
That the balloon style, the word balloon style, on this, it reminds me of those early Captain Americas that Joe Simon used to letter. That kind of the way it's not just one balloon sort of thing.
Yeah. Some of the Golden Age books were lettered like that, like little clouds.
What's up with the wall of text? Ouch.
Well, back in the day, in in the late 60s, they used to put an ad here. But because this is a reprint, they threw in a text feature about Arnold Drake.
Okay, so this is a reprint.
Yeah.
So how old? Okay, so how old is that?
The reprint was done in 85.
Okay. That might give an idea why I think the color was so bright.
Yeah. Well, then it's all printed on newsprint as well. So that's why the pages are as yellow as they are.
But it's not changed. It's the same color. It's not been recolored.
No, I don't believe it has. Yeah.
Yeah, but aging will change it.
Oh yeah, it'll change the paper. Yeah, yeah.
40 years ago, almost 40 years old. Now we get to Neal.
Oh yeah,
we've got George on inks, though, haven't we? This is
what you do.
This is DC's Kirby Coletta issue.
And here the owls are not what they seem. They're talking to him.
They're not owls.
Oh, so they are spirits, or they're what are they?
I think they're just the three witches in Macbeth, aren't they?
An eye for an eye.
Look at that. The guy there with the sniper who shot him with the hook hand, that cuts it down, doesn't it, who it was? It was obviously the one-armed man in The Fugitive.
Exactly. Yes. He gets around. I'm sure that's where they got the idea for this, or the start of the idea for it, because Fugitive was really, really big for the 1 or 2 years it was out.
Yeah.
Was it 2
David
years?
Jansen.
Probably longer than 2. Yeah, David Jansen.
Desilu production.
Another show that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Lucille Ball.
Exactly, Desilu. And then they kept the format and then turned it into Roy Thinnis, didn't they, in the Invaders?
Yeah.
Man on the run, being tracked down every week, new town every week, new girl. Same format.
Oh, yeah, The Invaders was great.
Yeah, Invaders was fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, they still run them in reruns here on Me TV.
I think it only lasted a series, didn't it? Invaders,
I think it was 1 year. Let me see here.
When you think about it, 10 years later, what was that, 67, 68? 10 years later, they did the same with the Hulk, didn't they? Man on the run, town.
Very much so.
Yeah, that worked as well for the Hulk.
Yeah.
As far as the stories were concerned, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the worst bits of the Hulk for me was when he turned into the Hulk. So pointless, wasn't it?
Good old Luke.
I'm so hungry.
All that slow motion.
The original Fugitive TV series ran from 63 to 67.
Wow, 4 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the Invaders a year after, or 67, I think, for a season, I think.
Then they remade it again as a TV series in 2000 to 2001.
Did they?
And then another remake in 2020. Somebody tried to do it. Didn't go very far.
This is what you're saying before, Russ, about just make up some new stories. Just leave these classics as they are.
Yeah. Make something new, for Christ's sake. I remember that.
Even if they were bad, let them be bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like you could say that, well, you're drawing Robert E. Howard's characters. You're not making anything new, but at least we're coming up with original stories for those characters. Yeah. We're trying to
you're not
respect the characters. We're not changing their core.
You're not changing it, are you?
No.
You are adding to the story.
I know. There's people that would say, "Oh, it's just fan fiction," and it's like it doesn't matter. You know, it is. It's lovingly sort of, I would look at it in the same way as you look at like the Star Wars extended universe stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's taking new stories, but being completely true to the core of what those characters and those stories are, just making new stories. So giving people new content. I mean, that's what I tried to do a little bit with Only Death Can Save Us. It's like, I couldn't use Marvel characters, but I wanted something like, the Stalin-esque kind of sci-fi cosmic nut job stuff of the 70s and 80s. And I wanted to create that environment to tell stories in. The fact that we're using Cull and Brawl, but we're staying true to the source. So I don't have a problem with telling new stories. Like sequels aren't a bad thing in themselves, but reboots and retro fitting things to stories, I'm not happy about.
Awful. It's awful. It's
the thing.
Like,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I just talked to one of my child about it because we were speaking of Star Wars. There were 5 years between the 3 first Star Wars movies. And those 3 movies lived for 30 years alone on that legacy and nothing else as a canon. And now we get new Star Wars content every 3rd month and drowning everything.
Yeah, too much.
And they are, I dare to say, they are trying to be original with what they can work with. But being original is not just what you can work with. You work with being original, and you take the time. So
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the thing
It's
with
so-
the thing with the modern Star Wars stuff is it all really comes down to quality. The reason those original three are long lasting is because everybody that worked on that trilogy really cared about what they were doing. They weren't trying to get a big agenda across. They were
Oh.
trying to entertain people. And you got an
sorry, I
old
just
style
need
space opera.
to.
Jen's had to drop out for a sec.
Okay. Yeah, well, it is what it is. My point is, I just don't. I'm not keen on retrofitting characters, make
Yeah.
new ones, or continue the stories that the old ones are in. So, I don't want you to make a new Star Trek universe. That said, that first Star Trek film, the modern one that came out, I now know why they were doing it, because there was a percentage of difference because of the way that the property was owned and what have you.
Right.
But actually, it was quite ingenious, that first film, because you effectively, if they'd have been true to the original Star Trek when they moved on from that first film, I think it would have worked beautifully, because they effectively gave the original series a new lease of life. They modernized it. They put some fantastic actors in. I thought they played the parts really well. I enjoyed the film, and it was like, wow, this is a real boost. This is Star Trek. It's back. And then after that, everything fell apart because they started to retrofit everything and change it.
You mean the new with the new film? You
The
don't
Chris
mean
Pine film.
You don't mean the Vija film.
No. Those films, I love those films. They're great. But obviously, the fact is that all the actors has aged out. You needed to do something, but at the same time, you needed to be true. And that first film, okay, it played with the canon and all the rest of it, but it did it in a way that was like, look, we've just rejuvenated it. You can take these characters. Chris Pine was effectively playing Captain Kirk in a modern version of the way that William Shatner played it. It was action. It was fun. It was like, it was good. The core audience will have issues with it, but I thought it was a good fun film, and I thought it was very cleverly done to rejuvenate rather than reboot. Do you know what I mean? It was like it, but then after that, it all fell apart. All the Star Trek now is just awful. I don't like it at all.
Well, I thought the second film was kind of interesting because they took the old Spock, stuck him in a room, and they wrote down everything he could remember about how the timeline, his timeline went. Yeah. So they went and found Khan, from space.
Yeah, we see that made sense. I didn't have a problem with the second film or the third one because, you know me, I've got a very low bar when it comes to movies. I'm easily entertained. Mm-hmm. But the series was tripe, utter tripe, and the fact that they then retrofitted people like Spock to be the only reason that Spock is the person they are is because of this new character they introduced and retrofitted as being the most important character in the universe. It's like, oh really? Dull. And from a wider perspective, we're talking about comics here, obviously, and all entertainment. It's just that lack of spark. So Star Wars, was lucky to get going because nobody wanted to fund it and all the rest of it. And it's passion that made it happen. And that's what's missing now is everybody just seems to be riding off the back of what's come before rather than making new things. And the studios and the publishers aren't really interested in the passion of it. They're like, oh, well, what worked 20 years ago? Let's reboot that and put a different costume and a different skin on it, literally in some cases.
It's not even that as much as they took the spirit of the original trilogy and just dismissed it. Because the big thing with that and like the first Indiana Jones film is that they were just classic pulp adventure yarns.
Heroic adventures.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they
that's what we need
forgot
more of.
About that in the later.
That's why you need
series.
to get to russleach.com and sign up for the email list so that you can get yourself a copy of the Atlantean and the Shadow Kingdom. There you go. Brian's right. Always cross sell. Always.
Hashtag always promote.
Hashtag promote. Oh, look at this. That's, you know what? This is still Carmine, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
no,
this
this
is
is
Adam.
Neal. This is Neal.
This
This is this is Neal.
Yeah.
This is Neal doing an impression of Carmine.
Pretty
it's
much.
obviously-
He gets looser as he goes along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just looked down at that bottom right hand corner, and that's so obviously a Neal Adams face and pose and what have you. And yet the splash pages didn't shout Neal Adams at me. So, but this is early on in his career, isn't it? Before he really started to get going.
Well, this is just as he's figuring out sequential art in general, too. And he was given a free hand because the character wasn't selling that well. So they didn't pay much attention to it. That's why he jumped over to Marvel and did X-Men. He said,
Right.
give me your lowest selling title and leave me alone.
Yeah. That's some balls there, isn't it?
See, he had done Ben Casey. Neal had by this time Ben Casey comic strip. Silver Age turning to comic books. Adams found work at Warren Publishing's black and white horror comic magazines under Archie Goodwin. He also worked for Archie Comics at that point too. Did a couple of things.
Right.
Adams debuted there as a penciler of Goodwin's 8-page story, Curse of the Vampire, and Creepy, dated April of 1967. So he worked there very shortly before he did the Deadman material.
Right.
So Adams made his DC debut as penciler inker of an 8.5-page story, It's My Turn to Die, written by Howard Liss, Liss, in the anthology series Our Army at War. That was July of 67. Did a smattering of additional horror and war stories, respectively, for the two publishers. And then after being turned down by DC's Batman editor, Julius Schwartz, approached fellow DC editor Murray Boltinoff in the hopes of drawing Boltinoff's Batman team-up titled The Brave and the Bold. He did a couple of issues of that, too. And instead, Boltinoff assigned him to The Adventures of Jerry Lewis. Number 101, with the full-length story, Jerry the Astronaut, written by Arnold Drake, became the first of a slew of stories and covers Adams would draw for that series and The Adventures of Bob Hope, two licensed titles starring fictional versions of the TV and nightclub comedians.
The Adventures of Bob Hope.
We should dig some of those up because Mort Drucker did a lot of that material too.
Oh, well, right. I bet that's pretty good, actually.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
During the period of the end of the industry revival, historians call the Silver Age of comics, Adam was soon assigned his first superhero covers, illustrating that of Superman flagship Action Comics number 356, and the same month, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane number 79, featuring Superman and a mysterious new costume character, Titan Man. Also that month, Adams drew his first superhero story, teaming with writer Gardner Fox in the lighthearted backup feature, The Elongated Man, in Detective Comics 369. Afterwards, he drew Batman himself, along with the supernatural superhero The Spectre, on the cover of The Brave and the Bold number 75, the first published instance of Adams' work on what would become two of his signature comics characters. The first instance, Adams drawing Batman in an interior story, was the Superman Batman Revenge Squads and World Finest, number 175. Another signature character that would prove Adams' breakout series was the supernatural hero Deadman, who had debuted in DC's Strange Adventures 205. Adams succeeded co-creator artist Carmine Infantino with the following issue's 17-page story, An Eye for an Eye, which we're looking at now, written by Drake and George Russo's inking Adams' pencils. Adams went on to draw both the covers and stories for issues 207 through 216, and inking over the scripting with taking over the scripting with issue 212. The series became a fan sensation, winning many awards and being almost immediately inducted into the Alley Award Hall of Fame, with Adams himself receiving a special award for a new perspective and dynamic vibrance he has brought to the field of comic art. Then he went on to draw covers, lots of covers. Adams called upon to rewrite and redraw Teen Titans story, which had been written by then newcomers Len Wein and Marv Wolfman. The story called Titans Fit the Battle of Jericho. Yeah, Titans Fit the Battle. It must be Fight. Fit the Battle of Jericho would have introduced DC's first African-American superhero, but was rejected by publisher Infantino. The revised story appeared in Teen Titans number 20 in 1969. And then it went on from there. Then he went to Marvel and did X-Men. That was 1969 that he jumped over to X-Men. Anyway.
What a story.
Onward.
Sorry, I need to bounce. I'm very, very pleased that I was invited and could be here. But real life suddenly happened.
Yep.
And I have something I need to take care of. But
all right, Jens.
I will join you on the Sunday Funny thingy.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome on anytime. Like I keep saying, anytime you want to pop in, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, but yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. And
yep,
I will rewatch all this because I find it very interesting.
Tell folks how they can find your stuff before you leave, Jens.
Oh, well, funnycomic.com.
There we are. Easy enough. Take care, sir. We'll see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you, Jens.
And we get back to here we are.
Going out of focus now.
Are we?
Yeah, it was great before.
Blah, blah, blah.
Better? Looks good here.
Blur.
No, it was. Is it blurred with you, Russ?
Yeah, it's a bit blurry. It's coming.
Oh,
it's getting there.
It's getting there, yeah.
It's getting there.
Just settling down, yeah.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Shall I do it one more time?
No.
Too late.
Too late. She already looked.
She's already been mooned. Yeah. Anyway.
When
no,
this
look, that's all. Anyway. Clunk, clunk. You were saying, Glenn?
When the first issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did the second one come out? Was it a month later or bi-monthly or 10 years? What was it?
I am assuming it was bi-monthly.
Because there was 4 pages there telling you what had happened in the previous issue.
Yeah.
Which is a waste. Just go and get the other issue. But anyway.
Well, the sales on the book weren't that great. So they might have felt a recap was necessary.
But surely they would have had the second one produced before the details came in.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
Maybe Neal wanted to retell it. I have no idea. Whatever Arnold wrote, I'm sure he drew. And again, here the sound effect is just blended almost in with the brown of the pants.
Yeah.
Look, clunk, clunk.
Look, that's clever, the way he's going through the panel.
Yeah, I like that. That's cracking, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy in the middle panel that's going to chop looks like Superman.
He does.
Like Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Chop, chop.
We used to have an RI teacher at school. We used to call him Odd Job because he used to whack you. He used to give you a karate chop if you were talking or whatever. Imagine that now. He'd get about 20 years in jail, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Be arrested for assault over here.
But then, have you ever been arrested for assault yourself? Just saying. I used to get board rubbers thrown at me.
Yeah, we'd got all that, yeah.
Yeah, and keys.
Pardon me, used to get what?
Board rubbers. So No. It's just, there's that two cultures separated by the English language again. It's
Eraser.
an eraser. Yeah, like so. You know,
Eraser.
chalkboards.
Yeah.
You'd have chalkboards, and you'd have a like an eraser, a sort of a brush to take the chalk off the board.
Yeah,
It was an easy implement to throw at the back of the class if you were talking.
Yeah, I'm from the generation that called it a blackboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, blackboard. Yeah,
Same here.
Well, yeah, blackboard. Yeah.
Somebody got upset about that. It's a chalkboard now, I believe. And no, it's a whiteboard, I think.
They use whiteboards now. I don't think they use chalkboards anymore.
Yeah. No, only the really old schools around here would have them. So I've taught on a chalkboard before. But a lot of those schools are they just take them out and put whiteboards in because it's so much easier to handle, a lot less dust.
In all fairness, you know, apart from the plastic, obviously, the dust is a pain. So
It is. But it used to, occupy the kids' time to give them the eraser and tell them to go outside and
Yeah, I'm just going to say that. Yeah,
clap 'em
bang
out.
them together and hit the wall with it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Just to take out a little aggression. Aha. Ride 'em, cycle hounds.
I wonder if this came out at the same time as Peter Parker got his bike.
That's, the wild one really went through and opened up the motorcycle culture.
Yeah, but that was 1954.
Oh, okay. Shows you how that. Well, then Easy Rider. When was that?
69. This is after the wild one and before.
In between
Easy
there.
Rider.
Oh, they're all ruffians because they're riding motorcycles.
I think they've just picked up Amazing Spider-Man, whatever number it was, where Romita draws Peter Parker with his motorbike.
Yeah.
But, I'm probably wrong.
More fun than the Spider-Mobile.
Well, I wasn't around at that time.
That was Ross Andrew and drawn in under protest.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Looked like Speed Buggy anyway. I think he ended up abandoning the Spider-Mobile. He's tied it up with webbing somewhere and you never saw it again.
why? If you can swing overhead,
Yeah,
like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man you are,
Mhm.
why would you have a spider buggy? It's like
Merchandising.
that's a target. You've got a big target written on you, haven't you?
That's the whole point, was merchandising.
Yeah.
the spider webbing was too expensive, so he got a silly truck, whatever it was.
But you can see the thought, the effort that's gone into that. Oh, let's put the truck in the comic, whereas actually the truck would have sold whether you put it in the comic or not.
Exactly. Well,
Because it's just like the Spider-Man logo.
Yeah.
You didn't need to do that.
Well, they figured that out after a couple of issues.
Yeah. I have to say, I never rode a motorbike like that.
Hunched over like that.
Like that, no.
Only when you were losing control or going over that hump.
Yeah. Then I made that same face.
Yeah, with the pseudo Captain America helmet on.
Yeah, probably said the same thing too. Ah, aha!
I think there may have been more expletives.
This guy here pulling a wheelie. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. It's a nice panel even with the inking. Not quite as offensive as Vinny, but getting there.
Yeah.
You can see that a lot of the soul and feel of it is just been taken out by the line work.
Mm. I'd imagine inking over Neal Adams is quite a daunting proposal.
Well, at the time, they probably didn't think that way. He was just getting started. Who's this young upstart coming out of advertising?
No,
Gross.
I'm just talking about getting the artwork.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you would think so.
Not the name, just like, oh wow, look at this. I've got to ink this.
I know Giordano kind of took over after not too long of this, did that run of Green Lantern, Green Arrow that they did together.
Yeah, well, again, there's a quality class act there.
Yeah, that's a great team up there. Great stuff. Not that this is bad. This looks cool. Like I said, though, you can see with some of the thinner line weights and that it just kind of takes the spirit of it out. Look at that right there. That hand just doesn't quite look right. It's way too thin. You can always tell who Deadman's possessing because they have the Green Lantern glow around them. We have a little backup feature to fill in the page count by Neal. Story and art.
So you can see him inking himself there.
Yeah.
The difference.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at that wonderful lighting on that boy and the tree and everything. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
The title's lost, isn't it? The game. Yeah.
It is. And that's the coloring, too. They could have popped that a lot better. Oh, that's a great shot. Up the nose. Beautifully rendered. Using the tree here.
I'd like to see this in black and white.
Yes, absolutely.
Those top 3 panels you just said there, with the tree in the negative space, very Gene Colan.
Yeah.
Very loose. But yeah, that tree, negative tree's very clever to spin the panel.
And then the lightning here kind of blends in with it.
I never thought of Neal Adams in comparison to Bernie Wrightson, but just the way that he's doing those panels on that left-hand page it reminds me of Wrightson.
Yeah. Well, they were all feeding off of each other at this point.
Yeah, mostly because of the negative space, I would imagine, because Wrightson was a master at that.
Yeah.
So your thing as well is that Neal Adams, he'd be about 26 when he's doing this, so he's not had a lot of time to practice, has he? He's just good. Look at that center panel there in the blue where the guy's on the floor or under the bed.
Yeah, how good is that?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the lose the color on it to see the line work.
Yeah, it is distracting, especially here. You lose a lot of that detail. So there you really have to look close at it.
Look at that. Again, the top panel. Look at that shading and
yeah.
I mean, the blue's great, but I'd like to see it without. And then underneath, wow, it turns the light on and puts the lamp on, and look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, doesn't even bother putting detail in the rest of it. It's just that.
It's fabulous.
Fantastic.
Wonder whatever happened to Neal Adams.
Just when you think you're getting things right, then you look at a Neal Adams comic
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
every time.
And you think, well, what look at that today to depress me. So you pick up a Steve Ditko comic or John Buscema. You think,
Yeah,
what am I
yeah, you
doing?
go,
What am I doing?
oh no.
Again, the coloring.
Look at
on
the
this.
eye there. Look at the eye with little detail around it, but
Yeah,
it's fabulous, isn't it?
it's great. It's a little cross hatching here.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
Yeah. It's fantastic stuff.
Was this bed a TARDIS?
Must have taken him somewhere. Playing a game with my friends. I was here all the time. Playing a game with my friends. I swear. Dad, he was here a minute ago. He's cloven hooves walking away. Again, the perspective here is great on that panel. Printed on the back cover.
Wow.
Inside back cover. Due to space.
Great cover, that, isn't it?
Yeah. We got 45 minutes. Shall we continue with number two?
Yeah, let's do it, yeah. Because we're just getting to the Neal now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that face there. Mr. Blue Man, look at that. Look at that shoulder. Wow.
Yeah, look at
That face. That face. Just great. Say it, Eagle. I'm a sparrow. And a coward. And a killer.
Wow.
What makes a corpse cry?
See, here we go. Look, Neal Adams art. I was just going to say, before you turn it over, you've got to let Neal Adams ink his own stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just wonderful. He's a bit Joe Cubity as well, isn't he?
Nice.
That looseness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mouth there, that could be kind of a Cubit style.
Yeah.
That mouth on the big purple guy, whatever he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know his face.
We're going to look at some Kubert on Sunday.
Good.
Look at it's Tarzan of the Apes
Good.
book. Just classic material. Just like this. Really great stuff. Oh, better cross hatching at work here.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rousseau. Yeah, Rousseau. It looks like he's still inking.
His head looks a bit big on that picture, though, doesn't it?
It does. Just a little large.
But it's a great pose. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at the sole of his shoe. Johnny Jack Davis.
Yeah, he's getting a lot looser with his composition here. It's very
We're having another recap. What's going on?
experimental.
What's the problem?
It's got to be because the book's bi-monthly at this point, and they figure that they've got readers coming on that haven't read the previous issues.
That third panel where he's clenching his teeth, really Joe Kubert, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see Sergeant Rock in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. It's a nice shot here too. Looks great. Horrific. Oh yeah, that's where he jumps into Tiny.
Yeah.
Figures out he can possess people. Yeah, you are getting a 2-page recap here of the origin. 3 pages, really.
Did I know Neal Adams drew Superman, but did he ever do the book?
I think he did stories here and there.
Right. I know I've
Never
seen
really
him-
had a Deadman and X-Men were really his big regular gigs.
Right.
And those didn't last for very long. I think he was on X-Men for maybe half a dozen issues.
And didn't he redraw Superman on the Kirby covers? Or was that Anderson?
I thought that was Kurt Swan, because he was the Superman artist at that point.
Yeah, but I think
I know they had him go through and redraw a lot of the heads, Superman heads.
I think
Him and Murphy Anderson.
there's a cover. I think it's a Forever People cover where they're carrying Superman in the air and he's on his back, lying down on his back, they're carrying him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Neal Adams cover, or rendering of Superman. I don't know which one it is.
I can dig it up here real quick.
Yeah, I think it's issue 3 or 4. I'm not sure.
He's on Forever People 1. And that's got I think that's got a redraw by Swan.
Let's see if I can find it in mine. Issue here. Yeah, I'm just flicking through this Forever People. It's absolutely brilliant. I've got to read it again now.
Yeah, we'll look at that material here eventually. We'll get there.
That's the danger.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you look in an old book and you go, oh,
Yeah.
let's read this again now.
But you know, that's part of the fun too, because it raises up that nostalgia and you go, man, I used to love reading this book, and you go and you look at it and you figure out why.
Yeah.
You know, why it was as good as it was and as great as it. That's why we're looking at all of this old stuff, is to show off the how great this sequential artwork is. I'm not finding that cover.
No, I'm not either.
And I know the one you're talking about. It's just not popping up on my image searches here.
Maybe it's. I'm looking at the covers. It's not on the. Maybe I've got the. Maybe it's not the Forever People, but I'm sure it was, because I can see that big hairy guy in my mind.
Yeah, it might have been another title, because
we've got Deadman on issue 10.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be something else. Must be another book. Wouldn't be Mr. Miracle, would it? Let's have a look at. I can't find it. But anyway.
Yeah, in issue 1, that's definitely a redraw on his face. They tried to keep his body styled. He's got the squared off fingers, but it's been redone probably by somebody at the office. Kind of looks like Swan, but not quite. Like I said, we'll take a closer look at that here eventually, soon. I'm going to go through the New Gods material, the Forever, or the Mr. Miracle also stuff. More greatness. Get that. He's really starting to play around here on this right-hand panel, or right-hand page. Moving the composition with a lot of the action.
Yeah. I wonder why they were doing split pages, though.
Here?
Yeah.
They were running half-page ads.
They did that with Marvel, didn't they, as well?
Yeah. Yeah, Marvel did it quite a bit during that period as well. Yeah.
It's where we all found out as as British people, as English people, what a twink he was.
Who? What?
I, w-
Oh, what
The
a Twinkie
Twinkie.
was. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how that split page for the ad affected the artist's page rate.
I don't know. They probably got paid for a half a page.
Yeah. Well, they did the whole page and they just cut it in half. And not good. Yeah, didn't they go down to 17 pages at one point?
Yeah, these stories are 17 pages, but this is Strange Adventures, so they throw one or two backup stories in it as well.
Because that when they were doing that with Kirby, that was mid-70s. This is 10 years before.
Yeah. Well, the Adam Strange material that Anderson and Infantino did, those were 15, 17 pages a hit.
Right.
And that was also in Strange Adventures, and they'd run the little oddball stories in the back. You know, the taxi cab driver in space, that kind of just oddball stuff. They're just breaking out crazy material back then. Atomic Knights come out during that period as a backup feature in Strange Adventures. That was Murphy Anderson, Gardner Fox writing, post-atomic science fiction story where guys found suits of medieval armor that were radiation proof.
Like you do.
Like you do. And they were riding around on mutated Dalmatians. One of my favorite.
That sounds fun.
One of my favorite strips of all time, because it's like trying to describe curling to somebody who's not from Canada. You get that look on their face. What? Guys running around a post-apocalyptic tale of guys in suits of armor riding mutated Dalmatians. Just great stuff. And fighting large salary aliens too. Large, like little broccoli people and oddball mutated corn.
Broccoli people.
Yeah. There's a great shot here.
Wow, look at that.
That's a Brattack.
I like the way his nose and lips are deformed there because he's been hit so hard. It's great.
Look at that last panel. Is he trying out for Spider-Man there? When he's crouching next to the waste bin.
Yeah. That's a promise. Sorry, kid. Real sorry. I would have kept my promise if someone hadn't turned me into a dead man.
Wow. He does really interesting angles, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Makes it interesting.
Well, you had to do something to keep the strip interesting.
Yeah.
You know, because most of the time he's possessing somebody and not running around, looking like a superhero.
Yeah.
I know the CW got really close to doing a Deadman's live action series back when they were doing Green Arrow and Flash and that kind of stuff. I would have loved to have seen them actually do it.
Oh, you know what they'd have done.
I know.
I'm not even going to say it on camera.
They probably couldn't have afforded the effects budget of him jumping in and out of bodies.
No, they'd have ruined it.
Still, it would have been interesting to see. I know that there was at least a pilot written. I'm not sure if it was filmed or not. I don't think they got so far as casting it. But CW got close on a number of different projects while they were running the DCU on television.
I think if they'd have made that show, the guy playing the Deadman wouldn't have had much to do, would he? Because he's always in somebody else's body.
Because he's dead, of course.
And he'd be in a outfit. They'd have probably domesticated him and put him in a regular suit.
Yeah.
Kept him out of the superhero type.
God, they'd have never have put that spandex on him.
Yeah.
No.
But then again, you know, here he is. He was a big trapeze artist star, and yet he had such a high collar on his outfit.
Yeah. Did they manage that with Doctor Strange? I've not seen it.
Impractical.
Did they give him
Doctor Strange was well done, I thought.
Oh, the made for
kinda
TV
liked it.
movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
the
one.
first one was good. The made for TV movie, they didn't put him in his pajamas until the very last scene at the end of the film. And then that costume was horrible.
No, the most recent one, not the Minestrone of Madness or whatever it is. I haven't seen that.
Minestrone of madness.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not really interested in anything after Endgame, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the first one, that I really enjoyed that. That was quite good, and it had
Yep.
Dormammu in it, and Dormammu looked like Dormammu.
Yeah.
So that was quite good.
I've come to bargain.
Is that Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange in that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled it off all right. I think the whole origin story. I never thought of Steve Strange as being that arrogant. But
Oh no, that was his character right from the start.
yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite Doctor Strange stories, which we need to look at, was Marshall Rogers and Roger Stern. He is arrogant all the way through the story,
Yeah?
and he just
All right,
runs. He just, when I saw Sherlock, the first episode of Sherlock,
Yeah.
I swear I turned to the wife and I said, that guy's Doctor Strange.
All right.
That's
Okay. Fair enough.
the exact attitude, he carried himself just when he was cast. I'm like, yep, told you. There you go.
I must go back and read some more and educate myself appropriately.
Should go. I'll see if I can dig up those old Roger Stern, Marshall Rogers, Doctor Stranges, because they were good, and he was
in that
bastard.
case. Yeah, in that case, it was a pretty, it was one of the better translations then.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed the film, and
well, the whole thing,
Cauliflower Cumberbatch was he was quite fun to watch. So.
The whole point of Doctor Strange was a lesson in humility.
Yeah,
he was the big surgeon who could do anything. He gets into that car accident and he screws his hands. That was very much part of the books.
Right.
And then he goes around and stumbles across the Ancient One and learns mystic arts and all of that. But go ahead.
Not to say I told you so, but I'm just looking. The Kirby faces of Superman were drawn by Murphy Anderson and Al Plastino.
Okay.
Just for information.
Oh yeah. Because Plastino was the Superman artist at that point. Yeah. Then that was before Swan started his 25 year run on Superman.
Romita did some changes, didn't he, on like Kirby stuff?
Yeah, he did when he Mad Bomb cover, didn't he? When he came back in his mid-70s and all that. He inked the Mad Bomb cover. He changed it a lot as well.
It's a very iconic cover, though.
I found a letter. Speaking of John Romita, to me from him from 1975. How about that?
Oh, really? That's cool.
From John Romita.
Yeah, signed by him, from him, signed by him.
He's great.
Brilliant, John Romita.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that bottom panel where he's jumping over that. Wow, look at that. Yeah, fantastic. Chunk.
The way it's cut in.
Yeah.
Out of the panel border, yeah. Chunk, lamb, biff.
That's great. Those two panels where he biffs him, where he really smacking him, and then the angle of looking down, and he's down on the floor. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Come on, pal, stay alive. Don't let me down now. What did he do? Get shot? Yeah, he did. He got shot in the back. Turned around and smacked him. And he told everybody what was going on. Then he unpossessed him and he died. Atta boy. He's okay, lady. Just a nick. He says, atta boy. Gave him an atta boy. Of course, he doesn't remember anything because Deadman was in him at the time. Now, one more promise. The one I made myself to find my own killer. Dun, dun, dun. Second choice.
Jerry Conway, Gil Kane.
Ooh.
Neal Adams,
Ooh.
Gil Kane. Yeah.
That should be interesting.
There we
Is
are.
that Cain and Abel?
That's Kane there, I think.
Cain, yeah. Didn't I know he did some covers of Cain and Abel. Did Adams do any Cain and Abel interiors?
Oh, I'm sure he did. He did a lot of the short story stuff. Yeah. This is great though, because you can see both of them, especially in this panel. You can see Kane's positioning and composition, and then Adams going over top of him in an Infinite. Just brilliant stuff. Beautiful. Tree here. Mephisto making a guest appearance. On loan from Marvel.
Look at that, just before you turn, look at that first page bottom. Is that Norman Bates' house there? The steps going up to it.
Yeah. This is great too.
Yeah.
Pulling the book off the shelf. Oh, look at
Come
that.
on. Wow.
It's a cane horse right there. Mm-hmm. A lot of verbiage here on this page, though.
Yeah.
They left a whole panel there at the bottom for some exposition. I told ye to stand aside. Clatter, clatter, clatter. And I think they were planning on a lot more dialogue up in that panel. Yeah, that must have been great for the letterer.
Yeah.
So he was trying to figure out how they're going to run that, and then just leave them a blank space to explain stuff. It's probably working. Kane was probably working off of a script.
Oh, just go back. That since when was Stonehenge on a hill?
There you go. Yet I see not but dead statues.
Yeah, I went past Stonehenge the other day.
Was it on a hill?
No,
Was it orange?
Have been invaded.
Was it orange?
but there was a buttload of traffic.
Yeah.
No, it was not on a hill.
Did you see that thing about that centre stone that they found? This from Scotland. Have you heard about that one?
No.
There's a big stone at the centre of Stonehenge, as you probably know. It's sort of under the ground, but you can see the top of it. You can walk on it.
Okay.
And they determined that rock, that stone, came from Scotland. You know how they're supposed to have done the Easter Island, rolling them on trees, rubbish.
Yeah.
From Wales,
Mm-hmm.
Wales to Berkshire, where that is. And well, they found that the centerpiece in the stone is from Scotland. And somebody said, I'm not going to say it. They say it's from Scotland anyway, so it proves they had to roll that one 600 miles an hour on trees, like you do.
Utterly ridiculous.
300-ton rocks rolling on trees, yeah.
Utterly ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but to just suggest that is like, what? Really? Trees?
Well, I think it's a grand example of how much we don't know about the previous civilizations. And it could have been brought there. It could have been there to start with and dropped off from a glacier, hundreds of thousands of years ago, for all we know. and just carved in and placed.
Yeah, but it's
in
funny
there.
how it's on a ley line. It's the most strategic place in the United Kingdom, you know. But we'll let that go.
Yeah.
And again, you know, it's like the pyramids all lined up to the constellations.
Yeah.
There was,
It's just a coincidence.
Oh yeah, just a wild coincidence. I really
You know-
think that there's an outside reason for all of this that none of the scientists want to, admit to, as far as either energy transference or who knows, even teleportation. We don't know. We're never going to know.
It's like a coincidence that somebody was firing a rifle at a president and from behind, allegedly, and all the bullets hit him from the front. You know, it's very strange. Anyway.
Some things just don't sit well, do they? You're just like, nah, sorry.
Well, they don't fit into our what we consider to be a logical explanation, you know. But there has to be an explanation for it. We just haven't admitted it. Haven't admitted it yet.
No. I mean, what if we're all in a virtual reality and it got turned on last Thursday?
Well, then that's your explanation.
Yeah, it's the last Thursday.
But
situation.
we're never going to admit that.
No.
Isn't that a typical, stereotypical, beautiful drawing of that guy pulling his sword from Gil Kane?
Isn't it?
Kane. You know, how many times have we seen that?
Got the up the nose shot on the top left.
Yeah.
got everything Gil Kane-esque in here.
The overbearing, yeah.
Great cloud.
You got a floating head.
Whatever.
Floating head. Yeah.
Floating head. The lovely cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything Gil Kane in here.
Great.
And we've got a Gil Kane bottom there, and that guy, see him on the second panel on the second page.
Yeah.
Top, up at the top there. Typical Green Lantern bottom there.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, look at that face in the that's just so
great,
good.
You see that? I don't know whether you could do this, but see that panel, the big panel where he's in blue with his back to us. I think I would have had to just continue that panel just another quarter of an inch so I can get his foot on it.
Yeah.
Wonderful, isn't it? And there's that face in the
Right
explosion
there,
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It violated the bottom of that.
I would say that's an advantage of drawing digitally. Is where you would have done a lot of this with light boxes and photocopies and what have you. So you do yourself a panel like that and you think that panel is nuts. It's great. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I've drawn it and I can't put the feet on it. And you have to resize it on a photocopy or whatever. Now you just go, that's a great panel. I really love what I've done there. I'm just going to squidge it in.
He could have just changed his leg.
Or he could have dropped his foot out of the panel.
Yeah,
I suppose could have popped the foot out.
There was enough space here. They dropped this caption box lower.
His left foot. He could have dropped it out of the panel, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
But then they're making decisions on the fly at a great pace. So
it's a comic.
Yeah, it's a comic. Yeah.
That Deadman. That's real.
Eisner.
Yeah.
Eisner.
Well, we're going to end it there, though, because we only have 15 minutes before the 2 hours.
That's it. It's all over, guys.
We'll continue this next week.
Yep.
More Deadman.
Yep.
We've got another 5 issues to go. If we want, I just keep looking at Neal's greatness. Another 4.
Yeah, I just want to see Neal's artwork.
Yeah, I think it was a 6-issue series. Yep. We'll continue it from there. We've been looking at Deadman, folks.
Think of that. Wouldn't you like that artwork on your wall?
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably going to be the thumbnail for
Yeah.
part 2 right there.
That's
Such
fantastic.
a great illustration. Yeah. More Deadman next week, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Deeply appreciate you. I know the majority of our viewers come on after the fact. We appreciate you guys also very much. We hope that you've enjoyed us looking through this as much as we have. So we do this because we love it. Russ, can you tell folks where they can find you?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah. Do it.
You can. Sorry, I'm just over on the other side because I've been inking. You can find me at russleach.com, and you can sign up for the email list there, so you can pick up the Atlantean, which I'm drawing now. Showed a bit at the start. There you go. There's a bit of stuff there, and a bit of stuff there. You go. That one hasn't been grayed yet. Bit of a bar scene. So if you want to see all that kind of stuff, good storytelling, good fun, great characters, thanks to Robert E. Howard. So you want to look at all that, go to russleach.com and sign up to the email list, and we'll keep you informed as to when those books are coming out.
I also have to add that I'm very envious of your Daffy Duck there.
Daffy?
Yeah.
Marvin?
Marvin, yeah.
Batman?
That Daffy, though, is great. That's phenomenal. I love that. Is that a little statue? That's sitting on your floor, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a big statue. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's sitting on the floor.
Fantastic.
Hold 2 seconds.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
What's it made of?
There you go.
What's it made of, Russ?
What's
It's
or the brain?
I don't know.
Is it ceramic?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Sweet. That's
Wow.
amazing. Love it.
Yeah, old presents from back in the day when it was still reasonable price.
Yeah. Great stuff. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook and all the usual social media things. And if you go to Amazon, you can pick up Comics Unlimited, which is my magazine that comes out every now and again, full of interviews and articles about all this stuff that we love. And you also get a copy of that.
There you are.
Oh, that's a good one. And you can also pick up a copy of my book about my visit to see Jack Kirby, which is full of pictures of me and Jack and Roz, and it's very interesting, even though I wrote it. If you go to Fund My Comic, you can get my character Hatch, annotated book there, and it's full of artwork from roughs through to finished artwork, stuff like that. It shows you goes through the entire story of how he came to be. And if you get in touch with me, you can get a copy of my film that I made about my visits to see Jack Kirby at his home that goes with the book. But yeah, just put my name in Google, you'll find lots of things that I've done other than comics. I've got 12 books out there of varying subjects. Just put my name in Google and you'll find it.
Lots of stuff. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. We do this every Friday morning at 5 a.m. where we look through some great comic sequential art. We also, on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we also do the Sunday Funnies, where we do this pretty much the same thing, only a little bit more, perhaps more oddball material. This Sunday, we're going to be looking through the Treasury edition of Tarzan of the Apes by the great Joe Kubert. Faithful adaptation of the novel, probably the best straight up adapt. Well, Hogarth's was comparable to that as well. But what a great story! What great artwork! Very iconic work by a true master of sequential art. Joe Kubert. We'll look at that on Sunday as well. Next Friday, we'll continue Deadman. And we are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. Go over there, whatever platform you're on, like and subscribe. Any kind of interaction with this program only goes to help the algorithms, and it's absolutely free for you to do. So help us out, like and subscribe on this program. If you enjoyed this, tell your friends that we do this. We do this every week. So rain or shine, even if we have to pre-record them like we did last week. So we get out of those habits. I forgot to change my Facebook over until just now.
Can I just show something, Randy?
Absolutely.
In my annotated book on Fund My Comic, you can see the process there of let me just see to get it from pencil, inks, and color.
Yep.
You know, it's full of stuff like that. It's a good read.
And you can find the Hatch annotated book over on fundmycomic.com.
Yep.
So go over there and check them out as well. It's a crowdfunding site specifically for comics and comic related projects.
There's some really good stuff on there.
Yeah, great stuff available over there, including Glenn's book. So go over there and take a look. So in the meantime, we'll be back here on Sunday for Sunday Funnies. We'll be back next Friday for more Comics by Night, more Deadman then, and just more stuff. So take a look at our archives, and hope you enjoy the program. Go over to Fund My Comics, check out our YouTube channels, and take a look at the Indie Comics Network. There's a lot of varying programming over there. There's bound to be something else there that'll strike your interest. Everything from animation to just all-out goofiness about the comic industry. So go over there and enjoy yourself, we hope. We're very happy to be part of that network. And like and subscribe over there as well. And tell your friends if you enjoy those programs. Anything else, go visit your local retailer and take a look. There's so much great comic material there, especially at your better retailers that have extensive back issues. You don't have to, even if you don't care for the modern stuff, you don't have to read it. Go over there and read the stuff that you love, and tell others about the stuff that you love as well, no matter how old it is. A lot of this material is timeless and is meant to be enjoyed and meant to entertain folks for as long as you want to keep reading it. So we hope that you do. We love this art form. That's why we do this. We don't make money at this. We're not here begging you. We don't have advertisements every 5 minutes for weird stuff. And we don't even have sponsors at this point outside of Arrow Comics, but that's because that's the company that the banner we print under. So we do this for the love of it because we love this art form, and we hope that you do too. We want to inspire you. We hope we inspire you to do artwork or to read more comics. So that's why we're here, and we deeply appreciate you being here as well. So in the meantime, we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Any last minute buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours.
Yep.
So
some good stuff out there. Go and find it.
That's right. It's like digging for gold, folks. You'd be amazed at the quality of material. We barely scratched the surface in the couple of years that we've been doing this. Yeah. So go take a look at some of that. It's some wide variety of stuff out there. Some just incredible work. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
До свидания.
Draw the Flintstones naked. There's a market for that.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time with theory.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.